Good morning! Welcome back to Croatia. Welcome back to the tour. Welcome back to the seaside. It is an absolutely glorious morning here by the Adriatic coast. It is absolutely stunning here. And hang on, come in control. This is forward agent. What temperature do we have currently? It is 26 degrees. So today we're heading to an island. We're riding up the coast and then a tiny little bit of inland to the island of Brač, where we're going to be staying by the seaside yet another night. So strap in, get yourself a cold one, and let's see about getting past this rubbish traffic so we can blast along the coast, shall we? So we had a very interesting experience last night trying to find the place we were staying. Turns out the address on booking.com, which we've used flawlessly without problem so many times before, was 6.3 kilometers from the actual place that we were staying. So after going down 2 or 3 of these tiny little streets to nowhere, being met by dead ends a bike and a half wide, which made U-turns very interesting, I decided it was time to call the agency that booking.com had used to create the booking. Well, it's so complicated, isn't it? So anyway, I called the agency and I had the phone connected to the Bluetooth intercom thingy. Completely forgot about the push to talk button, so I was nattering away and then the bloke just hung up on me. So that was attempt 1, fail. Called him back, started blathering away in English, telling him our predicament, and then he went, "No, auf Deutsch bitte." Oh, there's a bridge between the islands. That's cool. So luckily, I have the skills and explained to him our predicament in German. Auf Deutsch bitte. And he said, right, I'm going to call the landlady, I'll get back to you. Half an hour later, we'd been pottering up and down again. I called the agency again, and this time just launched straight into German, explaining again who I was, what I wanted. Dude says, "I'm sorry, do you speak English?" I'd obviously got a different guy. So I had to explain the whole thing again in English this time. At which point he then passed me on to the German-speaking guy, and we carried on. And he just said to me, it was brilliant, it was in German, but he said to me, "I've been on the phone to the landlady without success." She had no car. And then he said, "You need to drive 10 kilometers down the road to the next town." So it turns out we were staying in a different town to the one the booking.com listing said we were. Well done, guys. Great work. So anyway, we drove down the road, 6.3 k's, not quite 10, so every cloud and all that. Found the place and eventually got beds for the night, albeit over an hour after arriving early so that we could have a relaxing evening. Oh well, you win some, you lose some, I suppose. It's hard to stay cranky when it's this beautiful. But then the fun continued because we decided we wanted to go to a shop up the road to buy some stuff for dinner, and naturally we wanted some beer. There was this tiny little cafe with a shop attached to it. Think post office in rural Somerset, that kind of a size of a shop. We got a bunch of food from the very slim selection, some quite anemic looking sausages, then grabbed beers from the fridge, and as you'd expect, straight to the till. The lady checked all the stuff through the till, got to the beer and said, "No, for this you must pay at bar." So we had to, in the same room, we had to take the beer from the checkout to the other corner of the room where there was a bar and pay for the beers there. What is that about? And then at that point I realised they had some cold beers in the fridge and I'd picked out warm ones, so I quickly swapped them. But at that point the lady had written out the handwritten receipt and now the beer was wrong. It didn't match what she'd written. She was not happy about it. But anyway, enough of our trials and tribulations of last night. Let's get on with this ride because this is absolutely stunning. This is a great service. Marble Cake Road. Oh, it's all squirmy. Oh, this is a real shame. It's like they started to replace it and then kind of lost interest. Leave as it is, lads. It looks great. Looks all right. Let's get down the pub. Come on. We're off. Bloody hell, that's worse than the other one. Lucky there's no bends. Oh, it's like riding on a train track, except the front wheel's on the left track and the back wheel's on the right one. Three supermarkets and a petrol station. We've found Metropolis. Bloody hell, that looks loaded up, doesn't it? What have you got ribbons on there for? Is it a wedding? Just an ordinary sized coffee cup with a giant hand. And it's empty. Little breakfast by the sea. Except we sat down for a coffee. The waitress came over and we said, do you have anything to eat? No. So, to go to the supermarket up the street and get something. Make our own sandwiches in front of everybody in the cafe. Not at all awkward. But in what feels like 45-degree heat, the journey continues. Typical, isn't it? Incredible view like this, immediate proximity to a caravan. At least they get the joke though, snail with a house on its back. This road's dotted, that means overtakes are good. Well, I think unfortunately we're leaving the coast behind for a little while now. Chop out a bit of flatland stuff, but don't panic because we will be coming back along that bit of coast road on the way back up north because we're going to stay in the town called Zadar. So for now, goodbye sea. We'll see you again in oh no, I'm full of crap. It's the sea there again, look. Oh no, looks like that's a river. Bungee jumping. Brilliant. Looks like that's the spot where it happens. Madness. Look at that. Oh, great. Roadblock already. Who would have thought it? Thankfully I get to rock the detour button on the sat-nav, which is good. It looks like we've got a twistier route. These views are just fantastic. These roads are a bit boring, so we'll get rid of you for now. Set the bike into mountain goat mode. Stones in the road around here. Doesn't make for a very relaxing hairpin now, does it? Some big stones too. Very slowly becoming quite a lot more rural, rustical. He's got one brake light. Every time he brakes, I think he's indicating. It's the colour blindness, you see. When I see the grey light come on, I think it's the indicator grey light, not the brake grey light. I don't really see everything in grey. Yeah. Now the road surface has taken a nosedive. have been a little bit over the top. Just clearing the pipes out. Those roads are a bit dusty, you see. And suddenly the landscape is different again. Low, tree-covered hills. Some soft, mountainy looking business over there. With a large chunk of water in the middle. This place has got absolutely everything. So now we are in the deepest, darkest flatlands middle area of Croatia. Oh, that's a beautiful piece of architecture, isn't it? And it is now 31 bleeding degrees, which does show just how well ventilated this helmet is actually, because I've got the visor closed. It's 31 degrees and I've got the visor shut. Don't get me wrong, it's warm, but my face isn't sweating right now. The rest of me though is sweating an absolute bucket load per minute. Not quite sure how, but it seems to smell like nice and spicy knickknacks around here. This is quite sneaky. Looks like we're riding through a pine forest, but it's just one row of trees between us and the fields. I wonder if that's to hide the secret spicy knickknack crops. Well, hopefully this is the most... Wow! I was about to say, hopefully this is as boring as it's going to get. Long straight stretch of road through the flattest piece of Croatia we've seen so far. And then we get formation flying aeroplanes coming over the top. The incredible thing is, it was going against all logic of action cameras. I've had the camera off for ages. I turn it on, 10 seconds later, aeroplanes over our heads. Okay, my sat-nav wanted us to go down there. That's a bit ridiculous. They selling fruit or fruits of the loins? Oh, these straight bits are just boring, aren't they? Right, I'm going to bring you back in when we get some bendy stuff again. I'll see you in the twisties. So, I was hoping it was going to get more exciting, but it's just got less exciting. The Romans have absolutely destroyed this bit. Oh, it just goes on and on and on. Don't look now, but that looks dangerously like a curve up ahead with hills behind it. I think we're almost getting back into the bendies, folks, which is good because I have schwitzed an absolute lake into my undercrackers. Oh, I thought it was hot when we were moving along. Really, only 31 degrees. Whew. Somebody turn off the air conditioning. I can feel the temperature drop as we come over this. Look at the colour of that, that's awesome. Get in, traffic in 32 degrees. Now that's the stuff I'm talking about. It's a grey slip road. Oh, they're not shy of using this stuff before it's finished over here, are they? This isn't the prettiest of towns, is it? It's like when you're trying to build something out of Lego and all you've got is the 4x2 bricks. Limited options. Oh, finally a bendy bit spoilt by a truck. So I'll magically appear in front of that truck and enjoy the bendy bit. Cafe.
Should we keep on going, Andy?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's no shade. Can I have a suck in your tube?
Shouldn't we rather do that in private? Go on. You have to bite it and then suck it. That's what she said.
You're not filming, are you? You got a fap of your cameras? Yeah? Your spare? I think it just got hot. Give it a drink.
Sharpens up quick there and it's really dusty around the other side. Whoa! There's a lot of stones and crap on the road here, isn't there? They do look scarily like goat shit. I don't really know how long this stretch of video is going to last, because for some reason camera on the helmet, I think it's overheating. It keeps shutting down before the memory card's full, before the battery's empty. The only explanation I can think of is overheating. At the moment I've got it on the highest quality, 100 megabits per second 4K video, so I might have to just bring that down to 60 to try and stop this annoying overheating issue. Because it's rather cramping my style. Wow, look at that. Just took a change there, didn't they? Everything changed. Colour of the trees, colour of the road. The air's cooling down again, finally. Train tracks really freaked out the ABS then. I wonder if this means we're actually descending into Split now, because as far as I remember from the planned route, we did a bit of switchbacks and then bosh, we were in the city. So this could well be the last little section before we actually jump on a boat, switch up the mode of transport. What?
I was standing there waving at you. You look miles away.
Oh, they recognise you?
Not
I thought you looked like a crazy local.
An old baldy bloke waving at you.
Yeah, I think coupled with your standard indecipherable hand signals, you were just going... For some reason this just switched off. Okay. Well, after that lovely little switchback descent, we are now cruising into the beautiful hilltop conurbation of Split, where we're going to be catching our ferry over to Brač. It's certainly not going to win any town planning or architectural awards, is it? Oh, these buildings are disgusting, aren't they? So good to be in traffic again. I've been looking forward to this. Filtering, filtering, I'm filtering in Croatia. If you try to stop me filtering, I'm going to race ya. Just about there. It's just starting to sink into me how maybe ill-devised the ferry plan was, because we're going to have to sit on a ferry for half an hour in full leathers. Oh, I hope we can at least sit on deck in some shade. I sound like such a grumpy old git, don't I? Oh, I've come all the way to Croatia, I want to sit in the shade. This is a bit touristical though, isn't it? Touristastic.
Go on, Andy. On you go. You go on.
Now, I booked one of these luxury yachts. Which one was it that we want? What was it called when I booked it on the website? The Forgotten Dream or something? The Fantastical Nothing. Oh, being a tourist is just continually confusing, isn't it? Where the hell do we buy tickets from now? Right, we're going to try and find some ticket buying facilities, and then the show will go on. Well, tickets bought from 500 miles into that building. Now we have to do a big fat U-turn, drive 4Ks back that way and get in the queue. Oh, I've cocked this up already.
Where have you gone? Andy.
Ian?
Have I gone the wrong way? Andy.
Ian?
Andy.
Ian? So after us thinking we were being efficient, we sent my mum off that way so that we could meet her at the ferry, and we got the wrong ferry because this is the ferry we want over there. So we're waiting for her to walk back here while we sit here and pickle. Ian's getting a bit stressed, and these chaps want us to go straight onto the ferry so they can get back to their cricket game. Right, well, the errant passenger has finally joined us. We can go and get on the ferry now.
Which ferry are we getting?
I'm going to go a bit further and have a look. Oh, this is ridiculous. There's nothing telling you which ferry goes to where.
Well, it says all these rows, it said Supertar, arrows down onto the floor.
Oh, did it? I didn't see it.
Unbelievable. What the hell is this as well? Which ferry is this? No idea. Where does this ferry go to? Which is the one to Supertar? So apparently that's the ferry we want. Just make absolutely sure this is the one. This is just a mishmash, isn't it? Folks just wandering about the place. Yeah, Supertar. So, go and pick up the others and then we'll give it a go. They say there is nothing in life more difficult than climbing a wall leaning towards you or kissing a woman leaning away from you. I think catching a ferry in Croatia is most certainly way up with those two. Excuse me, mate, U-turning here. I think we're about to push into the queue a bit here. Those people there were waiting for this ferry, but we're coming in first. Cheeky is that. Hello, thank you. Look at that. And we are almost on the ferry. Where does he want me to go? Up there with the other bike chap. Right, here we go. We are ferried. Right. See you lot above deck, or I will be sweating up a storm.